6:44. Welcome back, everyone. With Valentine's Day weekend kicking off tomorrow, restaurants would typically be getting ready for one of the busiest times of the year. But like most things, the pandemic, of course, is changing that. We told you earlier how an appellate judge suspended that restraining order allowing nearly 100 restaurants to stay open after the state's 10 p.m. curfew. So now that means Valentine's Day is going to be an early night of going out to a restaurant. So this morning we are going in depth, taking a look at what this means for local businesses. And I'm joined this morning by Chef Marco from Marco's Italian Restaurant on Niagara Street in Buffalo. Good morning, Marco. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Oh, thanks for having me.
Today is a day that I know you've been waiting for, your restaurant. Up until now, you've really only been doing takeout. So what changes for you today?
Well, Katie, it's like opening a brand new restaurant. We've been closed for 11 months, and we've decided to take the time during the pandemic to refresh our image and rebrand and revive our space. And it's absolutely beautiful. I can't wait for you to see it. And, we're just looking forward to moving forward with, everybody being on the same page and making it successful and enjoying a good night out.
So 11 months without having anyone step foot inside the restaurant. What has that been like? And then what does that mean this weekend's going to mean for you?
My wife and I were speaking about it last night. It's kind of nerve-wracking. I'll be honest with you, but we're taking all the precautions. Everybody's going to be wearing masks and, sanitizing like crazy. I've always done that before the pandemic anyway. So it's just going to be a little different. It's been me and my wife working straight through, mostly me. And, my wife will answer the phone once in a while, but I'm bringing some of my staff back, and hopefully we get back to the groove that we were in before this pandemic hit.
What is it like being a restaurant owner and having to keep those doors closed to people coming in for 11 months?
Honestly, heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. I mean, there's not really many words you can use for it, but it's, we're in the business to feed people, and being Italian, we want to feed people. And that's that's the biggest thing. And when our doors are closed and we got, just doing takeout, yeah, we know people are buying our takeout and they're taking it home and enjoying it, but we don't have that gratification. We don't see the smile on your face. We don't know that you're enjoying the food that we put out. And that's really what the restaurant business is all about, making people happy.
And we know so many restaurants have obviously been impacted this past year. Let's just take your restaurant, for example, when we look at it. What has it meant for you in terms of staffing as far as what had to happen this past year?
March 17th, 2020, I laid off my entire staff, and I moved forward for a year without them. So it's, they were like family. I mean, it's tough when you tell your family that you can't afford to employ them anymore. That's hard. I mean, it really is. And being honest, I mean, it was tough, but they understood. We understood, and we moved forward. Now, so I'm bringing some of them back. So.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, and let's talk about this 10 p.m. curfew too, because I know that's been such a big deal for so many restaurants. What do you think about that, and why is it so vital for so many restaurants to have that curfew extended?
I've never been a past 10 o'clock guy anyway. I'm getting kind of older, so you know as well as I do, 10 o'clock is late, but. No, a lot of guys, they depend on that 10 o'clock curfew, and it's tough. And in Buffalo, 4 o'clock in the morning is, they're what the bars are known for. Mm-hmm. But as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I open up a little earlier and I close at 9 o'clock. So I'm going to adapt to it and roll forward. I mean, at this point, you just have to be able to, move and groove as they change daily. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, as you pointed out, those hours though do mean a lot to some of those restaurants that target that later crowd.
Right. It's hard.
What are we thinking about, and what are you thinking about from your experience, the decades you've had in the restaurant business? What are we looking at as we look at the overall landscape of what this past year has meant for restaurants in Western New York, Niagara Street, Hurdle, Chippewa?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I've been 32 years I've been in business, and I think we've seen it all, and this one being the grandfather of all things to see is a pandemic. But Niagara Street has been revitalized, moving forward with a new landscape, and that's why we decided to do what we did and to refresh our space and move forward. Mm-hmm. Nothing is certain. We don't know what tomorrow is going to bring anyway, but if you work hard and you put out a good product, your clientele will continue to come back. I'm not one to bang on the drums and cause uproar, but I think putting out good food and good product and having a good reputation is what it's all about. That's what we're going to continue to do.
Well, and after 11 months, a long 11 months, you're going to be able to do it again. We just had your countdown clock up 9 hours until you begin. So we'll let you go, get a little rest before that big day. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Anytime.